What's up, everyone? Welcome to the November 29th edition of the NBA Injury Report brought to you by BetMGM. I'm your host, Adam Scherer. You can follow me on Twitter at ShipMyMoneyDFS. We only have a 3-game NBA slate to look at tonight, but there is still some big injury news that we're waiting on, so we will take a look at that. But first, click the link in the description below. Sign up and make a deposit at BetMGM. Place $10 on any pregame World Cup money line and receive $200 in free bets if any team scores a goal. And that means any team, not just one of the two teams in the game that you bet on. Any team in the World Cup. There's already been a few goals scored, so get your $200 in free bets by betting $10 on any pregame World Cup money line. Just click the link in the description below to take advantage. Now, looking at the injury news that we are waiting on, most of it stems around the Detroit Pistons, and it is really difficult to talk about in any sort of efficient way. Marvin Bagley is questionable. Bojan Bogdanovic is questionable. Jaden Ivey is questionable. Isaiah Stewart is questionable, but expected to play. The last time we saw Stewart in, he was starting alongside Marvin Bagley. If everybody is in, I would guess that they go with that lineup, but there's no guarantee. You could certainly get Bagley starting, Stewart playing off the bench, Saddiq Bey back in the starting lineup. But if Bagley is in, if Stewart is in, I assume they're starting alongside each other with Jalen Duren playing the backup center minutes. Again, that's just an educated guess. It could certainly be wrong. If Bagley is out, it does increase potential playing time for Jalen Duren, particularly if you also were to get Bojan out, because then you're going to have a lot of wing minutes soak up or a lot of wing players rather, soak up the Bojan Bogdanovic minutes, and it's going to open up more minutes for Duren at center. If Bogdanovic is in and Bagley is out, you still could get more minutes for Duren, but you could also get a situation where Stewart is just the starting center and Jalen Duren's his backup, just like we saw earlier in the year and like we've seen recently with Bagley and Duren. If Bogdanovic is out and Bagley is in, I think it just makes it more likely that you see the starting lineup with Bagley alongside Stewart. If Bojan is out, you also get increased usage for pretty much everybody. That is doubly true. If Jaden Ivey is also out, then you are really short on usage. Then you're just going to see guys like Killian Hayes and Alec Burks have to pick up not only more playing time, but more usage. Long story short, this team is a mess. There's a lot of iterations of how this could work out. I think the important things to keep in mind are the positions that guys play. Stewart and Bagley, obviously bigs, Bojan a wing. So you kind of can get an idea based on who is in or out from those guys, which guys, you should be getting more minutes as a result. And then also the high usage guys, which is Bojan and Ivey. If you take those guys out, even if a player isn't likely to get a lot more playing time, they are likely to be more productive just because there's more shots to go around. And then the other piece of injury news that we're waiting on, Isaiah Quickley is questionable for the New York Knicks. He did not play in the second half last game. If he is in, and the Knicks go with the rotation that they used in the first half last game, it mitigates interest in Quentin Grimes and Cam Reddish, and also Quickly, because last game we saw basically an extra guy in the rotation since Grimes still started and Reddish was back. Prior to Reddish's injury, Reddish was starting and Grimes was not in the rotation. Under those circumstances, we were getting additional playing time for Quickly, and he was looking like a good option. If he is in and Reddish and Grimes are both going to play today, it's difficult to find enough minutes for any of them to look like really good options. If Quickly is out, it solidifies the playing time for the combination of Grimes and Reddish and makes them more appealing because chances are one of them is going to end up being in the closing lineup. So to recap, the injury news that we're waiting on right now, Marvin Bagley, Bojan Bogdanovic, Jaden Ivey, all questionable for the Pistons. Isaiah Stewart is listed as questionable as well, but he is expected to play. And Emmanuel Quickley is questionable for the Knicks.